welcome back. Hopefully you've had a look at to-do lists, you've maybe given some a go. The next technique we're going to look at is something called a Gantt chart. Now if you do business studies, IT, you may be familiar with this already, but we're going to look at how we can apply a Gantt chart to you and your studies basically. So Gantt chart is something that's used in business day in, day out by project managers. So where there's a big complex project which spans a period of time with little kind of component parts which make up the whole project, then a Gantt chart is often a go-to tool in order to manage that project. So I think if you think about your year in education as a project, then this is a really effective tool to implement. So the idea being, up the top here we've got time, and then down the side here we've got all the different tasks which need to be completed. And the idea being that you colour in these blocks to denote when you're going to complete that specific task. So I've made a template which will be on the materials tab for you to download, and I've filled one out as an example here. So in this example we're looking at November, December, January. Specifically history I've added in here, and we've got two things we need to work on. We've got coursework and a mock exam. So what I've done then is broken that coursework down into the individual steps that are required to complete that coursework. So research is going to take me 1 week, proposal another week, further research 2 weeks, draft 1 3 weeks, draft 2 2 weeks, final draft 1 week, and then I'll submit that in the third week of January, sometime between the 15th and the 21st of January. Assuming that would be the deadline, I've planned my time to make sure I can complete each step before that deadline. And then you can see also for history, I have a mock exam that's in the middle of December. In the weeks leading up to that, I'm going to spend a week focusing on Tudors, a week on World War II, and a week on medicine there. Now I can see at a glance, this week I've only got one thing I need to focus on, my research, but then when we get to these 3 weeks here, I need to split my time between researching and revising, and drafting and revising here. Now obviously this looks nice and simple because it's one subject, but where you're going to be stacking up multiple subjects, it can become more complex. But the benefit then is you can see quickly where your pinch points are going to be. So if you find out all your deadlines or your exam dates from your teachers, you can work backwards. And if you see, okay, I've got 3 bits of coursework due in January, you might split them up a bit. So maybe you focus on history in November, art in December, and then geography in January. So rather than leave all 3 to the end, you're going to do one at a time in that time leading up to the deadline for coursework. So yeah, it is a really helpful way of getting an overview of all the work you need to do, the deadlines where it needs to be done, and also where those pinch points are going to come, so you can try and plan for them and mitigate the impact that they will have on you, and try to reduce that feeling of being overwhelmed. And I think the last thing to add about Gantt charts is, like I say, these are used in business day in and day out. So if you can get this kind of figured out now, you're already one step ahead of everyone when it comes to applying for jobs where you're going to be managing a team or a project, because you've got first-hand experience of using project management tools and techniques already. So it's something that can really last you throughout your career, not just getting you through this year in your education. So have a look at it, try it out, see if it's for you or not, but do try it, definitely try it. And if you need some support, reach out, let me know, and I'll help you. Good luck.